Welcome back, everyone, to the best podcast in New York. This episode of the Assassin Cast is for the week of June 3rd, 2018. I'm Jeremy Malaspina, accompanied with my co-host and good friend, Dan McCarthy.
It's good.
And in this episode, we're going to be covering the following topics. We got up first in the movies, we're going to be discussing talks of Marvel introducing a Hawkeye and Black Widow standalone movie. And oh my God, we're going to be seeing if that's a good idea or not. We'll give our thoughts on it. We're also going to be giving you guys a Halloween update. Is it really a reboot? We're going to go into depth on that too and discuss it more in depth. And maybe my wonderful co-host can mute his TV. And then later on in movies, we're going to be giving our thoughts on good old Sly Stallone. He just finished Creed 2, starting Rambo 5, and follows up with Expendables 4. We're going to be discussing if that's a cash grab. We'll get into that. And then this topic hit the list as well. We're going to be talking Al Pacino gets casted for Quentin Tarantino's upcoming movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And we're going to discuss what that movie's all about and some of the other actors involved. So we'll give that our thoughts on the story. And then later on in gaming, we'll talk EA's botched presentation. Oh my God, supposedly, wow, tripping over my words. Battlefield is getting a battle royale, which nobody fucking gives a fuck about. There's a brief Madden and FIFA announcement, but their time was mostly spent on a mobile game. We're going to talk and probably rip them to shreds on that too. We're going to talk Atari box scandal. Fucking A with the Atari box. I don't even want to blow that yet. We're going to be talking about this video I saw from a YouTuber that's going to be at Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. And I value his opinion, for sure. And then we're going to talk Forza 4, which hit the topic list today because Microsoft's E3 was up today. Their version of E3. So we're going to talk about that. And then if there's time, I'm going to finally give my final thoughts on Assassin's Creed Revelations, if the time allows. So we'll see. We'll see if that works its way in there or not. So, how's fishing, Dan? You want to tell these people what you've been doing the last 3 days?
Last 4 days.
4 days.
Hey,
4 days.
I said less gaming in the summer, unfortunately for me. I start doing a little more fishing. But still, I'll find time to get into the games. Like I said, I just haven't had anything come back yet.
Mm-hmm.
I got games in my mind that I'm waiting for that it'll take a little bit before they pop through. But still,
right.
Like I said, there's stuff out there. I can always go find something if I choose to try to get into something else. But I didn't want to do something like I did with Witcher. There was so much fucking time invested in that. And I still didn't give it as much as I wanted to, but it was just like, holy crap. Mm-hmm. But it also didn't grab me as other games have.
Right. I mean, after seeing what Microsoft's bringing to the table for E3 for the rest of this year and next year, a little bit of next year, there's some good stuff. And quick announcement, we're going to be doing E3 coverage next podcast because Sony's, at the point in time of recording this podcast, Sony has not put up their E3 presentation yet. So we're going to wait. And also we want to get Nintendo involved. So I'm thinking next podcast might be strictly for gaming. I don't know if we're going to have any movie topics, but there's going to be a lot to cover. Microsoft announced 50 games, so there was no way. Yeah, there was no way we're going to get to all of them either way, but we'll devote a podcast strictly for E3, and I'm thinking it's this coming podcast. So we'll do that. With me, I've just been enjoying my weekend this weekend, honestly. It was a rough week at the end of the week. I was so tired. And you want to hear a funny story? I guess our listeners could hear a funny story. So every morning, I sit in the chair that I'm sitting in right now for the podcast. So our viewers, our listeners that actually watch our podcast can see that I'm sitting in this chair, and this is part of my living room, whatever. And I was sitting in this exact chair, and Friday morning, I have like a really, really bad back problem since I was a kid after I got into this car accident. So occasionally I'll get spasms. I was like so tired Friday morning. I was like, oh, I don't want to go. I'm like sitting in this chair, putting my shoes on, my boots, and I was like, fuck. I look at my phone, and my eyes just drifted off. Went to sleep. Next thing you know, I had a cup of coffee I was holding. I fucking had a spasm. Whew. Coffee everywhere, bro. All over my pants, all over the couch, on the floor. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I had to change my sweatshirt. I'm like, come on, man. It's crazy. That's how tired I
This
was.
is Friday.
Yeah, that's true. At least it was Friday, but it was hysterical. My girl was laughing in the morning. She was like, "Why is the couch all wet?" I'm like, "I had to clean it. I fucking had a spasm, and the coffee went everywhere." She was dying. So it was actually a good weekend. I caught up with some sleep and everything, so it's good stuff. But that's pretty much it. We don't got really a lot of news right now. You know, we got into the expo, so we're gonna be working on that for the next upcoming weeks. I actually wanted to dig out another console or two to add to the video of cleaning consoles, but I was there yesterday looking through my stuff in storage, and I couldn't find two consoles. So that's not a good look. I might have to pick up some new stuff. So we'll talk off air about it later, but it was kind of fucked up. I was like, damn it, I'm missing shit. It's not good. So, and it sucks because I don't have a lot of space here. All right, but let's get into this. So, first up on the movies is we're going to discuss talks of Marvel introducing a Hawkeye movie, and then later on I found out there's going to be a Black Widow standalone movie as well. So, what do you think, Dan? Do you think it's a good idea, or do you think it's...
They missed the boat.
I think so, too.
Those two are they're two of the originals, man. Like, you've already done your 3 Iron Man, your 3 Captain America, your 3 Thor, our 10 million Hulk movies that we can't even figure out who was playing them at those points. Right. But either way, it's like, to me, those two, they're originals, it's over. Like, enough. Like, exactly. I loved the idea in the beginning. I absolutely did. I'd love to know the little bit of the backstory on, like, Black Widow. But we saw a lot of that. We saw her as a child. I can't remember if that was the Avengers or if that was one of the Captain America movies where we saw her like being trained. That was enough. I don't need to. I mean, it's a good movie. I'm sure people would flock to it. But the same with Hawkeye. Like, fuck, do I want to see Hawkeye for? Being like the army,
right?
Like, oh, bro, fucking still a guy with a bow and arrow during the army. Like, come on.
And this is the thing. Like, they're talking like Phase 4, so it's like this is gonna be like, if not, it's gonna be after Infinity War.
Yeah, it's just grabbing it too much. I think they should leave it at this point. They waited too long. They missed the boat. It's not the end of the world. You have plenty of Marvel characters. We don't need any more movies. The storylines will go on. We have Black Panther. They have Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Another, like, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, hey, there's enough. I wouldn't worry about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, you have so many. Now you're going to want to make, 3? You're going to make 6 more movies, 3 of each?
Exactly.
That's just too much.
Well,
like I said, it sounded good.
It sounds good on paper. You know what I mean? The article that I attached to this topic was talking that they could pull out any fucking B or C list characters, and people are going to go and fucking see that shit. So, me personally, I think a Hawkeye movie is cool. I don't think it's necessary. And I mean, a Black Widow movie on the other side of that coin, I think would actually make sense. There's a lot. She's in a lot of other solo stories, but she doesn't have her own. So I feel like, to see a little bit of backstory about her, she's an interesting character. That would work.
If she gets naked, I'll see it. I get to see Scarlett Johansson getting nude. I'm down. Then make the movie.
If she gets naked, you crack me up. I mean, I'm sure if she gets naked, a lot of people will see the Black Widow movie. Holy fuck. So yeah, I don't know. I think Marvel could do anything at this point, and everybody's gonna fucking see it. Let's be real.
True.
You know what I mean? So that's my theory on it. Sorry. So I guess we'll leave it at that. But I mean, this is just talks. They got everything really under wraps.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
We gotta wait and see the end of it. Again, what's going on with the rest of the Infinity War, and what's going on with the rest of that shit. Before we even worry about that, it would be like 2020 probably till we'd see anything anyway.
Exactly. So there's gonna be a while. I feel like it's not like it's gonna reboot the MCU at the end of Infinity War, but I feel like it's gonna really start things fresh for a lot of characters. you know, and then we're gonna have no Captain America. He's definitely gonna die for real at the end of the second one, and because you know we know he's up, his contract's up for Captain America, so he's not gonna be around. So we'll see what happens. Marvel is a mystery at this point, and I think they're doing that shit on purpose. That's what I
Yep.
you know. So we'll leave that at that. So next up on the list is interesting. This is a Halloween update. And at first, me and Dan thought it was going to be a reboot. Because that's really what it's been lately.
Yeah.
It's been fucking reboots on top of reboots on top of reboots. So to see that this new trailer that was released was actually a pretty long trailer. Did you see it?
Yeah. But I was also, like I said, I'm so skewed on that movie.
Right. I mean, I have no like. I like the older Halloweens. I mean, some of them are a little ridiculous to me, but this looks like a continuation of the story. It doesn't seem like it's a reboot. Like they're starting over. It seems like they're getting to a point where they're gonna finish the story up. Like I don't think it's a reboot. I think it's gonna bring the story to an end. That's the way it looked like to me. I could be wrong. You know, I mean, it's one of those horror characters that are like forever.
There's
you know?
so many. It's like Jason and Freddy have so many. I think
Exactly.
That's why I kind of like, holy crap. Like, I even think there's like 8 Leprechaun movies, for Christ's sake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just keep going. Like, yeah,
Right.
they keep making them cool, but it depends. You have to really have a love, I think. So I give people credit that love it. Like, horror movies, obviously, some of them love and Rob Zombie flicks because of the gore, and also people love the classics. So people will see it, I have no doubt.
Oh,
People will love it. I just never got into horror movies, even as a kid. Like I guess I watched them, but I was never like enthralled by them. Watched like Night of the Living Dead 10 million times or anything like that. You know,
Right.
watch the movies and that's that.
I mean, I think for horror buffs, this is going to be a good
Yeah,
way
they'll love
to end the storyline. I feel like. I mean, it looked pretty intense. You know, this chick is waiting for him to get out of jail. She wants him to be out. You know, and then they go up to the psych ward in the trailer, and all the fucking inpatients are bugging the fuck out except for him. You know, it was pretty creepy shit. You know what I mean? So they're doing a good job, right?
Watch the old one, see like he's got a knife and it's like waving because you can tell it's rubber. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have everything.
My favorite Halloween is when he's like the chick is making a sandwich in the kitchen. And she's like looking at the news like this, and then fucking he's just standing there, and it always made me laugh. Like, how do you not see that big fucking dude standing there? Like, come on.
I know. I got that big.
It's that cheesecake '80s fucking cheesy ass movie, you know?
Like no problem.
Right.
What it turns into for me now. I mean, I'm sure as you watch them, like I told you, my niece is a huge horror movie buff. Like anything that comes out, and I'll watch them with her. But I guess I just, I feel like maybe I got scared as a kid, but I don't even remember at this point. Like, you had to watch that stuff when you were like 5 or 6, and had older brothers that was like,
Yeah, right.
Like I think, like I remember like Nightmare on Elm Street fucking with me because I'm like, God damn, like I got to go to sleep eventually. This guy's gonna get me. But the other ones, I was like, I can outrun him. They're all walking. Jason walks. Mike Meyer walks.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess I feel like it's like the older '80s movies. They were shitty quality. You know, the TVs were shitty quality. Now we got this 4K shit, and you see fucking Mike Myers popping out in 4K. That's got to be some intense shit.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to see where they're going with it. So technically, the update is it's really not a reboot. I didn't get that feeling from it. I feel like it's gonna finish the story up. So I guess that's some good news for that franchise. At least they're gonna come to hopefully an end. Like I hope they don't see the money they make and they're like, oh, you know what? He's technically not dead. This is fucking Mike Myers.
Gonna be in there with like an oxygen tank. Like, all right.
Yeah, like give it a fucking rest, guy.
Of course, he's gonna catch her now, right? She's kneeling in the wheelchair and he's like walking.
He's walking with the oxygen tank.
Slowest fucking shit ever.
Oh my god, it's crazy. All right, well let's see what happens with it. I think it's slated for October of this year. They gave us a date. I'm thinking it's October, so
probably
right. So we'll see where it goes. So next up on the list is pretty funny but interesting at the same time. So We got good old Sylvester Stallone. He has just finished Creed 2. Now, Creed 1, I don't think I've seen, actually.
Neither do I don't even care.
And I'm pretty sure Michael B. Jordan is in that, right?
Yep.
The dude from Black
It's like,
Panther.
that's done.
Right. So they just finished up filming Creed 2, and then he's starting Rambo 5 like that, right off the bat. So when they come to the end of Rambo 5, which is sometime next year, they're going to follow up with Expendables 4. So Expendables 4 got pushed back. So now there's 3 movies we're about to talk about right now. So Creed, I don't really have a horse in the race because I haven't really seen the first. But
Again,
Rambo, right? Rambo 5, I would have to see what the storyline is. You know, like Rambo 2 is one of my favorite movies.
But the last Rambo he made was just gory. That's all it really was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's
Right.
like getting on a fucking Gatling gun, mowing down guys, and wherever they are, Malaysia or Thailand or something. That's kind of like, all right,
Yeah.
like really, you're doing another one now? Like, that's why
it just felt
I
like
tell you, enough. Just stop. I fucking beg these guys. Like Expendables, enough. Just
see now,
please, the love of God, stop making movies.
See
Where's the
now,
originality? They're all gone.
no, it's gone. It's definitely gone. I mean,
Incredible.
the idea of Expendables was a good idea. Like, let's get all the
4 of them.
right. There should be not 4 Expendables. They should have stopped at 3. 3 was a good movie, but it seemed like it was like they were dragging the storyline out. Like, how many times can you make a mercenary movie? You know, with swapping out actors, doesn't make sense. But I mean, the idea of Expendables having all these action stars in one movies was cool. That was a good idea, but you can't drag it on to the 4. Like
one, could have done one. It would have been fun.
right, and now
Funny
it's supposed
idea,
to be
make it look funny cut. And then look at this shit. Now we got 4.
4 fucking Expendables, and then Rambo 5 on the other side of this is like, you know, John Rambo's an old guy now. He was fighting in the Vietnam War. Like, what can he possibly be fucking doing now? You know, talk about
son come out. He's gonna teach him how to use a bow and arrow.
Right. Oh man, that's some sick shit. He's sick in those movies with the bow.
It's cool, but it's kind of like, okay, like sweet, like am I gonna get, you know, really, like you're gonna do another one and another one?
Right.
Like you can play. I know they could get typecast, but he could do different like roles. Like I just feel like everything's piggybacked off of old roles. Like that'd be like funny, like, and it's like crazy. You see him doing Rambo 5. How many Predators there have been? How many was Arnold in? 1. And it was the best one in my opinion.
Exactly.
You don't need to do 50 of these like fucking movies. You do one and you get it and you're done.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you, actually. It's like, you know, some of these, like, if you think about Creed 2, that's like the 8th Rocky movie. It almost seems like Sylvester Stallone knows what makes money. He knows what's going to bring in the money, so he's going to do what he knows. That only makes sense.
Yeah.
And, you know, and these 3 franchises, Rocky, Rambo, and Expendables, which Expendables is a newer franchise. That's only a couple years old. But these other 2, they've made money and they will continue to make money. There's always going to be a John Rambo fan that's going to want to see Rambo kick some fucking ass guerrilla warfare style. Always going to be. I agree. No doubt in my mind that that's where that's at. So it does feel like a cash grab. It does, honestly.
Of course.
It does. It feels like it's a cash grab, and it feels like for Expendables 4 to be pushed back, out of all 3, I feel like if I had to see one of these movies, it would be that one. Because you're talking about there's other actors in it, there's a better dynamic, it's a newer idea, even though they stretched it over 4 movies. You know, I feel like it's a better route to go. I'm not saying that I hate on Rambo, but I feel like if you're gonna stick with something, at least have it be the newer idea. Like, let those other stuff live. You know,
fucking retire.
How many fucking boxers are you gonna train before you die? You know, I don't know.
Learn your lesson from Tommy Gunn and fucking call it quits. It's ridiculous.
Tommy Gunn, that's hysterical. Holy shit! So Sylvester Stallone, figure out another way to make money. We're in your corner, but like, come on. Fucking ridiculous, honestly. I don't know what else to say. I wish him the best, put it that way. I'm sure he's gonna make money.
After he fucking wishes you the best every day too, right?
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck off. All
Yeah.
right. Moving on to the last topic of this week's Assassin Cast. It's actually, this is the
Of
most
movies.
interesting. What?
Of movies.
Oh, of movies. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Last topic of the movies. Al Pacino gets casted for Quentin Tarantino's upcoming movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, this is really interesting. I don't think I added a link. Oh, no, I did. I added a link. Did you read this?
Yeah, I know. I seen stuff about it too. I heard about it.
Right. Quentin
Which could be
Tarantino.
pretty good because he
Right.
makes like Kill Bill and them. He makes a little gory. So this is the type of like true story that could work well with it.
Exactly. I mean, he's known for really putting some out there shit up there, and
What was
like
the last one, Seven. What was that one? He did with like Samuel L. Jackson and them,
right, the Hateful Eight,
like The Hateful Eight or something like that. Yeah.
or the other one. There was like two that were like the same.
Yeah,
right.
he did good. The one where they were in the cabin and shit.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that was
good, yeah. Just gory. That's what I mean.
right. And Kill Bill was really fucking good.
Yeah. So he'll do
But-
stuff like that.
That's his Pulp Fiction type of movies are awesome. The way he directs shit is great, honestly. So,
He's got a lot of actors in this one too. So.
this one has a lot of actors. So let's talk about the story real quick. So the storyline is about Sharon Tate, and she died in the '60s. Peace, love, and rock and roll. She got murdered by the Manson family. So Charles Manson's chicks that he brainwashed, fucking, they went in and they killed her. And it's actually a really fucked up story because those chicks went on trial and they were fucked in the head. Fucked in the head.
Yeah.
So for this particular story for Quentin, this is like Quentin Tarantino's cup of tea. This fucking fuckery of a story is like, it's just a green light in his head. And he's already got actors signed on to this because they know he's going to do a good job. So they got Al Pacino, they got Leonardo DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt. So Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are...
Margot Robbie is playing the Sharon Tate.
Right. Margot Robbie's playing... She was playing Sharon Tate? Oh, yeah. Sharon Tate.
Yep.
Right. So this is going to be a good movie. Now, what's interesting is, I don't know what kind of marketing this is going to get. Like, I remember that other movie Brad Pitt was in. I think it was in Glorious Bastards when he's fighting the Nazis with the fucking Jewish platoon. That was another Tarantino movie. But, like, I noticed that with Tarantino movies, they don't really get a lot of marketing. It's like word of mouth. Like, we're going to be talking about it now. Our listeners are going to talk about it, and then whoever they talk to about it is going to talk to about it. And then before you know it, that movie's going to do great. So obviously, if you know what to look for, this is a good fucking movie. So I'm glad that it hit the topic list, honestly. It's definitely one that you should check out, for sure. I don't think they gave us a timeline.
I didn't see one when I looked, but it looks like I said, it could be something that they do interesting because it's going to follow around. Because I think it was Sharon Tate's neighbors who Leonardo DiCaprio plays, and he used to be a actor.
Yeah.
He was from what Western? I'm trying to remember. It was all that bullshit that was going on in those days. And his stunt double Brad Pitt, and then it seems like that's the type of movie, and it just goes into the fuckery of the Manson family. Like you said, something where they could show the true gore of what those lunatics did when they got into people's houses, and they'll portray that good. You know that, they'll probably be, you'll actually see the whole 9 where they were torturing people.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be graphic.
That's where you don't know much more about it. Is it gonna more focus on that aspect of it, meaning the Manson family, or is it gonna focus on like what was going on around them after that happened and how they, before they found out who did it, who they blamed, and how it affected Leonardo DiCaprio's character, and Al Pacino's playing the talent agent.
Right. I think it's probably gonna take place earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Probably gonna take place beforehand.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah. So we actually do have a date? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, that's where I go.
Okay, so we have a date. The date for this movie is actually August 9th, 2019, which happens to be the 50th anniversary of Sharon Tate's murder. So that's interesting. He's even got a date planned out. He's on point. Quentin Tarantino's fucking on point, man. Honestly. I'm sorry, I was just reading the end of this. Yeah, so this is looking like a good A good movie. There's also Steve McQueen in there, and Damian Lewis is going to be playing Steve McQueen. So it's going to be interesting. Another actor on this is Burt Reynolds. He's going to be in this.
Man,
Good old fucking Smokey and the Bandit in there. He's come aboard to play George Spahn, the elderly man who let Manson family stay at his ranch, which is what's part of the story. So it's very interesting. I feel like they definitely, like, Tarantino hit the nail on the head. This is the perfect thing at the perfect time with the perfect people. So it's honestly the making of a good movie. That's the way I look at it. So you guys got to stay tuned for that. It's definitely going to be coming soon. Do you have anything else to add on it?
We'll just see it when it comes out. Got a long time to wait, but it could be really good. I like the prospect of it. We'll see what goes from there. Could turn out to be utter shit, but
Sure.
closer.
All right, so that's it for this portion of the movies in this Assassin Cast. So if you guys are tuning out, you could check in next week for the next podcast, but I'm pretty sure E3 is going to be taking up a lot of our time. But check back anyway. There's always movie news every week, and we might have one or two topics if you want to just drop in, check it out. So until next time, we'll see you on the Assassin Cast. All right, moving on for gaming. We're going to talk EA's botched presentation. They totally fucked this up. All right, so now let's talk about E3 in general, right? So E3 is the time of year where we get to see the new games, the upcoming tech, new hardware. You know, it's like, I don't know why it's became the nexus of the electronic entertainment industry. I don't know why it is. It is what it is. So we're going to talk about EA real quick. And I wanted to wait to talk about E3 till next week, but we're going to have to be covering so much shit. We might as well get this out of the way now, right?
We go blanket it early. You know how it is.
Exactly.
Plenty more will come out next week.
Oh, there's going to be much more. So we'll cover this for now. So anyway, Battlefield 5 has been getting some sort of controversy the last couple weeks. You know, they were talking about how, oh, the chick in the trailer has a robotic arm, and it's supposed to be taking place in World War II. What the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's not accurate. And talking all this shit. It's most likely because it's a chick in the war. You know,
You have no idea what it could be, though. Fucking all you have to do to get rid of that is like, oh, she came back from the future.
Exactly. Like, what or whatever.
Our battle. Who knows? You can make anything. We don't know enough from the fucking trailer of these games. Exactly. I always tell you that. That's the funniest part. It's all cinematic. It's fucking nothing to do with gameplay. The people that play this game care about what it does online and multiplayer and things like that.
Right. Now, let's talk about that real quick. So now the game itself, we talked Battlefield, I think, the last podcast, the podcast before. And graphically, it looks great. Yeah. It looks like DICE and EA, they did a good job. Adding a battle royale mode, and that's what you want to tell us at E3, is fucking stupid. It was stupid. Because there's people that play Battlefield, like me and you, that have been playing for years, and that's not something we're interested in.
Yeah, but people love that shit. That's why I don't give them a hate on it.
Right. Now, but, like, who loves it? The 14-year-olds that are playing in fucking high school? But that's not catering to me. You know? And that's a bad thing. You're losing out.
People want to break news to you, buddy. They don't care about you.
Nobody fucking cares about me. God damn it.
They care about, the majority.
Yeah, but it's fucking bullshit.
Fucking Battle Royale becoming everything, to be perfectly honest. I saw it grow in the last 2 years. It's going to be in every game, man. Yeah, but they're putting their eggs in that basket. It's really a fucking bad idea, honestly, because that's going to die out. And then you got Epic Games putting out $100 million for tournaments. Like, they're just trying to get you to stay on this train of Battle Royale. It's really nothing special. The idea, in theory, is good, but it's not, you know? So, I mean, besides that fuckery that nobody cares about, I mean, I don't. I'm sure the 14-year-olds were loving it. Exactly. What? I said, no, exactly. Like, some of us don't give a shit about it, but they have their little market they can use.
Okay, so now, during their presentation, they showed about 5 different things. One of them being Anthem, the game Anthem that's coming out. and a lot of people were interested in it, but they really didn't show that much of the presentation. So it's like a mech. You're in a mech suit, I think, and it's like a cross between like Halo and something else. Which we will talk Halo next podcast because there is a announcement from Microsoft about Halo. So stay tuned for that, guys. So anyway, it was botched, 100%. They totally left out Anthem. They showed maybe like 2 or 3 minutes of gameplay, and a lot of people were interested in it, and they didn't. Now, another thing they did was they showed brief cinematics of Madden and brief cinematics of FIFA, the new FIFA.
Yeah.
Now, my actual opinion on it, even though it was brief, Madden looked incredible. It looked incredible.
It will be.
It's
Both
probably
those games get off the charts.
right.
I'm telling you that now. 4K and the One X now being out. This will be the first time they release it in 4K. This game's going to be absurd. Those are the games I'm looking forward to next, big time.
Exactly.
They're going to be phenomenal, in my opinion. But I'm a
Yeah.
big sports game fan. I love Madden. Always played it. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
It looks incredible, honestly. It really does. It looked real.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I can honestly say, out of all the Maddens I've played in my life, and we've been around a long time, this has been one of the best looking Maddens I've seen in a long time.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
Right, and that goes for FIFA as well. It looked just as good.
FIFA's going to be legit too, yeah.
Yeah, so now you're talking, you have two big games, FIFA and Madden, and then you have Battlefield, which should have been like your bread and butter for E3. Like a lot of people are going to be focused on this. And what do? You know what they do, Dan? They fucking talk about a stupid mobile game, Command and Conquer. Command and fucking Conquer.
I don't know what they're thinking. I'm trying to figure this out. I know this is like a lot of people play shit on their phones. Maybe it's because I'm an old man. I really don't play. Like, even when you were showing me your little joystick and stuff you played on there, I do not play games on my phone. Like, I really don't. Like, I had the DS, like, you suited up for me with the emulator. Other than that, but I don't look at these fucking things. So I get shocked when I see, like, how big they're going. I mean, I guess everybody's got a phone. Not everybody can have a phone and a DS, a phone and a Switch. I get it. But why is that your fucking priority, like, throw out, so to speak, for the E3? This is what you want to fucking show.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you why this is their main concern. Their main concern of this is because mobile games are money to them. They're going to have all these loot boxes and fucking bullshit so that you continue to play this stupid Command. It doesn't even look good. It looks terrible. And what's funny is that, hold on, before you talk, what looks crazy is the cinematics looked amazing. Like, it was something that you would see on Xbox. But then when they get to the gameplay, it's like a fucking 4-year-old could draw a better picture about what's going on than in this fucking game. And then this is like 5 to 10 minutes of this in their presentation. It's like everybody waits all year round. Like we said, it's the nexus of what we're looking forward to for the upcoming rest of the year and the beginning of next year. And you're fucking putting out this mobile game like it's the fucking cat's meow. The fuck out of here.
Fucking bee's knees.
The bee's knees. What are we in the 40s?
Just not a fucking fan. Like I said, I don't want to play anything on my phone, so it just seemed like a waste. Unless they're going to allow us later in this, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, really? This is what I was waiting to see?
Exactly.
You show me about a fucking, you have the One X. You can show me games and finally in 4K. So that's what, that's what you'll see the difference in my honest opinion, is if Sony drops theirs, then it's just like, straight, like, run on what they just did. Run on God of War and, like, games like that and show it, and people will fucking, it'll hurt Microsoft. Because, like you said, you show me a new Halo for myself. Like I said, you show me that you're going to have Kingdom Hearts. But, again, you haven't seen much on it. But if you showed something to give us a glimmer of what could be coming, it would grab a lot of people,
Right. Now, by the way, you're going to get really excited. Next podcast, we're going to be talking Kingdom Hearts because they have released it in Microsoft's fucking their announcements at E3.
It's the whole thing that I get worried about is that this game has been being talked about for so many years. It's like that George R.R. Martin telling me he's making the next Game of Thrones book, and this piece of shit That's been a fucking 10 years. And I gotta fucking hear that. Oh, yeah, don't worry, man, it's coming. It's gonna get apart.
Oh my
It's gonna
god,
be a
it's
fucking
fucking
old
terrible.
shriveled man playing this game, like waiting for it. But I get excited. Like I said, they keep pushing it back. But I think it's supposed to be at the end of this year. Hopefully, we get a definitive date. I don't want another speculated date. And next thing you know, I'm waiting until 2019 summer, and I'm hearing it again. Don't worry, guys, it's coming soon.
I think they said January 2019, so it's coming very soon.
It's supposed to see, but look at that. Last I heard, it was already December. Now you just did another month.
Yeah,
This is game for a long time. Doesn't mean it won't be worth the wait, in my opinion, but we'll see.
Right. So
now,
so if it wasn't for Microsoft to fucking come out right after their shit, I think E3 was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, EA's presentation was yesterday. I don't think it was during the same time. But if it wasn't for Microsoft to follow up with some of Battlefield in their presentation, EA would have been fucked. They would have been seriously fucked. Honestly, there's no other way to say it. They really botched the thing that people have been waiting for a year, and it's unbelievable. And it's like they're already in fucking hot water with their Star Wars Battlefront 2 fucking pay to win, get Vader bullshit. Exactly.
The game looked cool. I remember when that came out. I got so glad I wasn't the first one duped to buy the original. When it came out, I'm like, oh, this looks cool, like the idea of Star Wars. Let me see the campaign mode. Oh, wait, they didn't make a campaign mode. I'm like,
right.
And you just lost me forever trying to play your game. And I'm a Star Wars fan. Like, I would have probably liked it, but I was like, fuck you.
Well, that's the problem. Like, people like us, we want single-player campaign.
Sometimes I like to do that. It doesn't mean I don't like to play it online. Like, I'll still play it online, but I just don't have. You gotta fucking, anybody that plays this is gonna just tell me, like, oh, I've never played Call of Duty online, but I'm gonna go walk into it and wreck. No, you're going to get wrecked.
Right.
And it takes time to get good at it. You have to continuously play. If you don't have the time to continuously play a few hours every night, you're not gonna be any good. And what the fuck's the point of playing and being talked shit by some little chump, who's not even headshot me? I'm not dealing with that bullshit.
Right. Oh my god, it's fucking terrible. So, I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah.
They really fucked it up this time around. So, I'm sorry, EA. You're a fucking idiot.
More as the week goes, we'll see what happens when we can talk about it next podcast.
Right. Now, my boss actually is at E3, so that's cool. So we might even get some inside news. So maybe if it's time sensitive, maybe I'll do a little solo thing just to get it out there, unless you're up for it. So, okay, yeah, fuck off. All right. You can see our dynamic, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it.
I'll do a solo one. Yeah.
Oh, well, if you're up for it, mister, I'm going to fucking fall asleep at 9:30. All right. Anyway, moving the fuck on, Dan. Atari box scandal. Fucking scandal. No, this is what's funny.
They made it. It's like, come on, man.
Yo, this is crazy. I told you it's fucking bullshit. Alright, so now, a prominent YouTuber goes by the name RGT85. Love the dude. He's awesome. He's actually going to be at Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. I didn't link the video in here because I think he might have redacted it from his YouTube. Now, this is what's interesting. And I could be wrong. I don't want people to fucking scream at us in the comments. I could be wrong. So anyway, the Atari box scandal was, and by the way, this is ridiculous. They had released like promo videos of a dude playing Tempest 4000, right? Now, Tempest 4000 is on like the PS4 and the PC, I think, or PC and Xbox. And the developer was watching this promo video like, what the fuck? I never programmed this game to run on your Atari box or on a Linux operating system because that's what the Atari box is. It's a front end on the Linux operating system. So the dude that made the Tempest 4000 was like, this is bullshit. So what you were seeing in the promo video had nothing to do with the Atari box. And what's funny is the thing is sitting on the fucking counter in front of the TV, and the dude is playing it with the generic fucking controller that looks like the Switch Pro controller with the orange fucking thumbstick. And he's sitting there playing it, and I'm watching this on his video, and I'm like, holy fuck. If the developer came out and said that he never programmed this game for a Linux operating system, it's bullshit. This is a bullshit ad. And there was something else he mentioned as well that was bullshit just like this. And it's like they have been focusing on aesthetics of the console. Like, oh, you can get this one that looks like this. It's the limited edition.
Yeah. And by the way, I can't play it again.
Right. So there's like, nobody's going to go out of their way to fucking buy this thing. And if they do, you're a fucking chump. You heard it from me. You heard it from me. You are a fucking chump. They took your motherfucking money. That's it. That's it. It's a scandal. Look, they don't have, and this is what's funny, it all makes sense now, right? So now Kickstarter, if you have, like, say me and you wanted to come up with, what's a system back in the day that they don't have yet? Like the Fairchild.
Sega Saturn.
All right, let's say it's a Sega Saturn, right? All right, so say Sega's done and out of the water. Say me and you were like, all right, let's make a Sega Saturn, right? And you're good at marketing, but I'm good at programming. So we start making this, and we come up with the idea, and we put it on Kickstarter. Well, guess what? To put it on fucking Kickstarter, you have to have a workable prototype, right? Now, with Indiegogo, this is the other fucking kind of Kickstarter website where you could fund money for your project. You don't have to have a working prototype. You could pretty much sell people a dream, and if it doesn't work out, sorry, you're fucking invested in nothing. Now, on some Kickstarters, because I don't want people to get like worried, like, oh shit, I have money with a Kickstarter. Some Kickstarters aren't like that. Like, if their project falls through, a lot of the times they'll have like some fine print, which you'll get your money back if you invest it. Some do not, though. It's always a risk when you go on Kickstarter or Indiegogo trying to fund a project. So the Atari box, that's an Indiegogo campaign. You should have fucking known right fucking there that this is bullshit. There's no working prototype, but they want $200 from you for an ad. It's for an inadequate piece of hardware, by the way, because if it does come out, we already know that this is a fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? This is a piece of hardware that is going to be totally outdated by the time it comes out in 2019. Like, you're talking now, I have a theory. I already told my boss, like, you know, keep an eye on Sony, man, because they're going to be talking something special this E3, right? I already told them. I already have figured in my head that they're going to release the next console, or at least talk about it. I don't think, you know, like reveal it. Not release, I'm sorry. Reveal the next console. So I was like, you know, they're making strides towards 4K. Now, you're talking about an Atari box they want. $200, you could buy a Nintendo Switch for this money, right? All right, and even the Nintendo Switch isn't the best of hardware out of the three, but at least you know you're getting something that they are innovative and they're making games for and all of this shit. With the Atari box, you don't know what the fuck you're getting. They have no games list. You can't see the games. They can offer Atari games, which, like, guess what? If you wanted to play Atari games, your fucking graphing calculator could play a fucking Atari game. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a $200 box. Ooh, you could play it in 4K. Like, what does it matter?
What is Space Invaders gonna look like in 4K?
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking blobs.
I got the arcade classics. Remember last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
The Midway arcade classics. It was the Atari edition, and I had it on the PS3 because the PS3 upscales. It smooths out everything. And it looked just like it would have done if I played it on a fucking CRT or if I played it on a fucking calculator.
You're not dropping all that money on it. Absolutely not. You buy those things. I took my old man. Plays like Space Invaders and all that shit on it. Fucking got it for like $50 on Amazon or some shit.
Right. So
same thing. It's fucked what even an Atari box for.
It's a lot of fuckery. Honestly, it's just making me laugh because they will be taking your money forever.
Yep.
Forever. Because as long as you're nostalgic about something, They will take your money and fucking run. They will run, and they already are. They're already on their way. So
Yep.
sorry, guys. That's it. You know.
Sorry, I
So
lost your money. Invest in something else.
yo,
Like
invest in the stock
Like
market.
the next Sega, as Jeremy will tell you, the next gen Sega. That's where the money should go.
Oh my God, the Dreamcast 2! The Dreamcast 2!
Put money in it. Me and Jeremy are making it, by the way. Send it to us. You know,
Yeah, right. Send you $200 to us. We'll give you a Dreamcast 2. Oh my God.
Fucking regular Dreamcast with the number 2 written. on
Right, it has a 2 on it. It is the Dreamcast 2, by the way. Oh my God, this is fucking crazy. All right, so Atari box is a scandal. But now this is the thing. Now, our good old friend RGT85 over there, I couldn't find this video, Dan.
Yeah.
So,
We'll
and I
see if
saw,
yeah.
I saw that there was a reveal. So we might be wrong. They might have some sort of presentation that we don't really know about right at this moment. So don't hold it to us, guys. This is what I just saw the other day, but I've been totally against this from the jump. You could see on our other podcast that I just don't like this idea.
Yep.
Even
that's right.
even with the television last week, like I
Yeah.
think that's a bad idea also. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, which is fucking awesome. All right. We're going to be talking Forza Horizon 4. And we're going to give our thoughts on how it looks. We're going to do a special E3 podcast, which we already mentioned. Talk about other games from Microsoft and Sony. But we're going to talk a little bit about Forza Horizon 4. Did you see it, Dan?
Yes. And again, another game that's going to look as good as it does when you see it on 4K. That was like their previous one was the #1 rated game as far as seeing graphic quality. I'm not a big racing fan. I've never really played a ton of games that were racing.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's gonna look phenomenal. There's no doubt in my mind.
It looks incredible.
Just the backdrops, everything that they're gonna put into it. It's gonna be a great great visual game.
Right.
But like I said, for people that enjoy racing games, this will be your creme de la creme.
Right.
For me, it's not something I jump all over, but still doesn't mean anything coming from me in that sense. Because like I said, we all play different games. For as far as racing games go, this will be the best one out there.
Exactly. I honestly, from what I saw on the Microsoft announcement, it was like incredible. Cars looked incredible. They got all the new cars that are coming out now, like the new McLaren. Like everything is in it, fully customizable. And I don't think there's a single player campaign. I think this is an open world multiplayer.
Yeah, it's gonna be online.
Right, and it's going to be basically online. And from what I saw in the announcement, it's like these cars, like everybody has a car, and I guess a place where they live on a map. And when you come out of your driveway, you're able to interact with other drivers through a text-based system. So, like, say you're driving around and you see somebody in a similar, like, say you do imports, and you've like highly modified your import. Like one of the girls on the announcement, she was driving like a Nissan Sylvia, I think, which is almost like a step up from a 240 SX or something like that, but highly modified. And then she comes into contact with a guy in a Ford Focus that is like highly modified as well. And then she's like, "Oh, do you want to drift?" in the text. And he said, "Yeah, let's drift." And then boom, they're off on the map drifting around turns and fucking around. And then, you know, the guy in the McLaren, he's in a straight up race with 4 other people. And they're racing. And another thing that they were talking about was the seasons change, which I thought was really fucking cool. And I didn't really catch the end of their presentation, so I don't know, like
2 cars, get one to go like 4-wheeling in the snow. It'd be pretty sick.
Right. I think you'll be able to have like a garage full of cars. And what's cool is like the seasons change, which makes your driving experience change. So like if it's icy out, you're going to be sliding all over the track. So you got to drive different.
Raining, you gotta watch out. Yeah.
Right. Raining, leaves. When leaves are wet and they hit the street, they release an oil, so it's a little slippery. You know, so it's like shit like that they're focusing on. That is going to make a lot of return players. Like say you've been playing it for a couple months, and now the seasons change. That was the thing. I don't think they mentioned when the seasons changed. Like I don't know if it just happens in the game automatically every 2 days. It's a different season, or every couple of hours. But like if they did it by the actual seasons that we're in now, like if it's the summertime now, guess what? It's the summer in the game.
Well, that's difficult because it'd be geographical. Just so you
Right.
know, south of the equator is winter.
Exactly. It's
So
not
you're
going
gonna
to
have
be
people out there like, I want winter, and you're like, I want summer.
right. And actually, now that I think about it, does it take place in Britain? I don't know if
It does,
that.
yes.
I think it takes place in Britain. Yeah. So they experience a
Based
lot
off
of.
Britain's actual seasons, then yeah, that could be cool.
Right.
It is based off Brooklyn and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So like now the seasons are playing a factor in this game, so it looks fucking incredible, honestly. And they got a lot of different other features. I just think it's interesting that they're focusing so much on the actual things going on in the background. Most games, it's like your gameplay. You're in the car, you're driving on a track. Like this, they're focusing on the scenery, what's happening in the scenery,
Yeah.
like interaction
The
with other
next gen.
players. Right.
Utilize the graphics the games can portray. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I think they're gonna have to focus on. You're gonna be able to see what these, games are capable of doing. Because we see a lot of that already. You know what I mean? Like I told you, and a lot of games like Witcher I just finished, like the backdrops are phenomenal. But I
Right.
always tell you, you get lost when you see gameplay, and you're like, oh, great, like gameplay's awful though. This could be a little easier for them. The driving could be not as difficult to to create, and now you can focus on that as well, and
Right.
people like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're into racing games, this will end up being, the creme de la creme. Absolutely.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you.
Maybe not. I haven't played any of them, but doesn't mean I wouldn't give it a shot. It's like Need for Speed in my book. Like that's how I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I was
Need
never
for
big
Speed
into that.
it got weird. It's
Yeah,
not.
this could be. You never know. If they make it that good, that's something I would at least entertain the idea of it. Absolutely.
Hey, you might as well try it out. Like it doesn't hurt. I'm sure you could even play a demo right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not sure. You would have to find out for me, but you might even be able to play a demo. So honestly, Microsoft is really fucking killing it right now. There was another thing I wanted to mention. We're going to talk about it next week, but there was a lot of exclusives, Dan. I know that's something we were talking like, oh, Sony has a lot of exclusives and Microsoft doesn't.
Yeah, they do.
I think they actually said there was about 18 exclusives coming out this year for the Xbox alone. So it's giving people a
I think
reason.
Sony just has, like I told you, the pedigree of the exclusives.
Right.
Like some of the games that people love, it's like, oh fuck, like I can't get that on both consoles. You know what I mean? So the only one really, like I said, that sticks in my brain for Microsoft is Halo.
Yes.
That was what dropped it when it first came out, but that's that was so long ago now. You're kind of like, eh.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's
so many games so equal to it. It kind of like it'll go down as one of the greatest, of course, but it's still it's kind of lost its luster, so to speak. You're just like, all right, what's next? So you want to kind of see it's like I said, like God of War is relatively new in my book compared to Halo. When you compare when Halo came out and God of War, stuff like that is still like, whoa.
Exactly.
Like Halo won't get what God of War. So now you got to see what can you bring out, what can you bring to the table.
Right.
There's not really much of a difference. You know what I mean?
No.
Like when you look at it, I'm honestly like Madden PS4 versus Madden Xbox. Like I was always a PlayStation fan when it came to sports games. I always felt it was better, but still now it's just kind of there's no difference in my opinion. It's just a matter of getting used to the controller and everything like that.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we're gonna see what happens now with the PS4
Yeah, now
Pro.
we get Sony too.
Because from what I saw on Xbox, it was looking really good, and I think it might be giving Sony a run for their money right now.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to see, honestly, what's up on the agenda for Sony coming out tomorrow at 9 p.m. So maybe we might do a little something for that. I don't know. We'll see. But we're gonna go in depth next week about everything we saw on E3. It gives Dan a chance to catch up and watch their whole Microsoft stuff, and then you can watch the Sony
I said,
stuff.
I only read tidbits of articles that I want to watch.
Right. I sent you the link, but by the time you probably got to it, it was over, I'm sure.
Yep.
So we're coming to the end of the podcast. The last topic on the gaming section is actually a topic for me because I hit a milestone finally. I give my final thoughts on Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Finished it, guys.
Finally finished it. Oh my god. Yeah. All right. So anyway, last night I sent Dan a text of 4 pictures.
I didn't look at.
Of course he didn't. This motherfucker has harder to get to than the fucking president this week. So
honestly, when you're off, and you're fishing, and you're living the dream.
Hey, I can't blame you.
I don't get off time like that. So I just did it for 4 straight days. That's all I was doing.
Exactly. You should have invited me. All right.
Nah, I don't feel like babysitting. Well,
Oh, shut the fuck up. All right. Well, anyway.
how do I hold this pole?
Yeah. I don't know how to. I don't know how to put the hook on. Yeah. All right. Okay. So, the Assassin's Creed Revelations. I was so happy last night because I finally completed the trilogy. That was my goal. Now I'm gonna tell you guys right now, my percentage my percentage of completion for Assassin's Creed Revelations was not good. It was not good at all.
We all know. We all knew that.
Yeah, it was just like, honestly, like I think I finished with like 40%, I think, and that's being generous. And that was gonna be my review on this game. Um, hold on one second. Sorry. So yeah, my review on this game is that in the trilogy, a lot of different things happen storyline wise. So you go end up in Constantinople for this game. So it's like your journey just brings you to that point. And in Constantinople, you are getting these keys for a library to Altair, who is the first protagonist in the first Assassin's Creed. You're getting the keys to his library. And Ezio, the main character, when he gets in the library, discovers that in the library is the other apple of Eden, which is something that you find in the first game. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the first game. So what I'm trying to say is, it's like the storyline brings you to a small map. There's not a lot of stuff going on, and something that they initiated in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was if you don't complete the memory sequence the way they want you to complete it, like they'll give you 50% completion. So like, say you have to assassinate this dude where he sleeps, right? Let's just say it's that. And you decide that you're gonna climb up the building, climb into his window, and stab him in the fucking neck or something, right? But on your way up the building, you kill somebody. Guess what? It said don't kill anybody, so you get 50% completion. It's like, what the fuck? Like, there was nothing I could do. Like, there was at one point where I was like, this game is bullshit. It's like kill 20 guards, right? That's at the end, one of the end things. Which I killed the 20 guards, but I did something wrong, so it was like 50%. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I can't, like, I couldn't ever catch a break. There was maybe 10 memories out of 50 that I actually completed 100%. So it was bullshit. And I got to the end, and I was happy I completed the trilogy. But let me tell you this much. Assassin's Creed 2, I will play that again. And I got 80% completion on that. I would play it again to 100%. I like the story. I like the gameplay. And you could play it how you want. They're not giving you this 50% bullshit. So that was my thing on it. I totally dislike the fact that, you know, they're grading you on how you do it, in a sense. You know, and that was bullshit.
And you failed.
Right. And
well, most people that fail don't like the test. I'm just letting you know, buddy.
Well, yeah. But the whole thing was, you would think that like getting the trophies would improve your percentage of completion. No, but it doesn't. It doesn't at all. So, and I've gotten a good decent amount of those trophies. Didn't happen. So it is what it is.
Man. The listeners and the viewers would agree. It's time that you delete your thing and you get back on that game and you start over from scratch and you do it right. Okay?
Fuck
if you let us know in 6 months, we'll be waiting with open arms. For you to then tell us, that you beat your previous high of 40%. So I think most of them like 13. Okay, I can say 40.
Honestly, I got such a big backlog. It's not the end of the world that I got 40% completion. How much percent completion you got over there for The Witcher? I'm sure it's not even close to 100.
No, it is. I think I'm at like 65.
Oh, so that's not bad. That's not bad.
But I have to do all the side quests. Yeah, I finished the main storyline, gives you about 40. Okay. Then you have to do all the side quests. There's like, that's the sandbox feel to it. You have to go around and do everything. So that's why I'm just like, no. I
Right.
could. I told you that. I need to go back and do it. But what am I gonna do? Now I'm overpowered. I'm just gonna have to go around to each map and clear out. I have to run the whole map, run the whole area, find every secret thing that's in there, or buy a
Exactly.
walkthrough, which I'm not gonna do.
Well, I
Not this
mean,
point.
we're at a point in
Well,
time
I'll be
where
there.
it's just.
Kingdom Hearts, I'll buy the game and I'll buy the strategy guide. Like
Well,
that's
yeah.
those type of fantasy games. I like to do that, and I'll read through it as I go, just so
Right.
I don't miss anything. But I like stuff like that.
No, I agree.
I gave it a win by. I think I said it to you and you, right? I had time off. I had 3 days off in the winter, and I just said, I gotta go grab something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, my final thoughts on Assassin's Creed Revelations is it was good.
They like to.
Yeah, it was a good feeling to get to the end of the trilogy, like the story. Like I wanted to get to the end. Gameplay wise, it was great that they included bomb crafting. That was cool. It was a cool addition. You got to hold a lot more weapons than the other three games, which was also good. So all said and done, it was a good feeling to get to the end of the trilogy. Replay factor isn't technically there for me, and honestly, I've already replayed Assassin's Creed 2 twice. So if I were to pick one to replay, it would probably be this one again. Even though I disliked that a lot, it just kind of infuriated me that I didn't do as best as I could because I've kind of been playing this shit for 3 games now, and it's like I should have done 100%.
Yeah, I agree. You should have been. It's kind of disappointing.
Well, you know what?
Watching you miss the final free throw to win the championship. Like, shit. I expected more of you.
Well, you know what it is? It's like I want to continue on in the storyline. Like I want to go to Assassin's Creed 3 and go to the United States and do shit with George Washington. Like that's pretty cool. I want to experience that too. So I'm just happy it's over. I'm taking a break from the series though because I want to get to God of War 2, and I'm also going to play Duke Nukem.
You were saying that.
Yeah, I want to get onto that. I know it's a bad game. You know what I mean? Even the dude at GameStop talks some shit.
It.
But I just want to play it.
Too.
You know?
That's a good man right there.
Right. It's like,
really? You know, you can go down the street, probably pick one out of a local dump. While you buy 'em.
Exactly. But you know what? I just give me the fucking disc. All right, shut your mouth. You know.
That's what you want to say, right? As he throws the disc.
Yeah, throws it on.
Disc
fucking,
and fuck.
Oh my god, it's fucking asshole. So I was happy. I'm happy that I got to the end of this. So we're gonna start up Duke Nukem tonight, I think, because we're making good time. So, what about you, Dan? What are you playing right now? I know that was a topic, but we're at the end
For
of the
me,
podcast.
nothing.
So.
I'm not even looking at anything right now. Like I said, still messing around with the classics, but
nice.
Like I said, this whole week, even though I was off for 4 days, I was just enjoying it outside, man. Finally getting nice here in New York.
Word.
It doesn't mean I'm not looking. Like I said, the big one grabbed me is Madden. Madden will be my next game, but that didn't come out until August, so I have time. Right. And if I want to try to pick something up, I can always mess with anything on the Xbox One X. It'll play anything.
Exactly.
I won't play the regular Xbox games, I don't think, but I can play a 360 and a Xbox One, whatever I decide. I always look it up, but nothing grabbed me. Like I told you, maybe I'll see something when I want to watch through all Microsoft stuff if something grabs me. But I think it's just going to fuel my fire for Madden. I want Madden. I want FIFA. Like those are the games that I'll sit down and I'll just continuously play them for months.
Right.
And then go from there.
Well, actually, if you want to replay something like classic, I have Halo 2 over there. So if you want to like replay the campaign. You know.
You see what's crazy? I should have them all. You know, little bastard of a brother sold some of them, and we've been over this together off air. So we'll see. I'll have to go find out if he still has them. I doubt it. Even if you got like $1, he would have sold it. You know what I mean? Now you don't sell a game when they offer you $1. You say fuck yourself.
Yeah, he probably was like, just give me that fucking $1.
Give me $1.
Give me that fucking $1. I'm out of here.
Yeah, meanwhile, they don't talk about the $59.99 paid.
Right. I mean, if you want to give it a shot, I got it over there. I don't have the original Xbox hooked up, and that's actually one of the systems I couldn't find because I was actually looking for it, not to clean for the video. I saw a video the other day. Another guy on YouTube. He's actually the guy that did a lot of hacks on the YouTube, like a lot of the emulators for the mod chips on the original Xbox. He created. He wrote the code for it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a really good dude on YouTube. You should subscribe to him. But I was watching one of his videos, and he said that the clock capacitor on the board it goes bad and it leaks all over the board after a long time. So I was like, oh shit, while I'm looking for shit, I should pull that out, have my dad like take it off the board. Fucking couldn't find it for the life of me. Could not find it. I don't know where it is. So I actually have to go back there this week so I could finish up the video. I'm gonna be cleaning obviously the Dreamcast and I have a silver GameCube that's like
Oh man.
yeah, that shit really needed a cleaning. So I got two so far. There's one that I'm also missing. So I gotta look into it. But that's really it, man. And that is the end of this week's Assassin Cast. For the week of June 3rd, 2018.
Oh, I was all fucked up there. Dude.
I had to look. All right. So, yeah, that's it for us, guys. As always, thank you for tuning in. Like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube and Podbean. We will highly appreciate it. News is we're going to be at the expo. You already know that. We will have merchandise for you guys. And actually, Dan, we're going to make a little announcement right now. We're going to do a Q&A. So if you visit us at the expo, we will have a notebook where you could write a question, and we'll do Q&A about maybe 20 or 50 questions over the next couple podcasts. So if you come and write a question, we will answer it. That's the way I'm looking at it. So I think that was a good idea I had the other day. So take a look out for that. And obviously, if you watched up until this point, you got to see the new intro. So cheers to that. What else do we got going on? Nothing, right? So I guess that's it. Tune in next week for our E3 coverage in depth. We're going to be talking about all kinds of games, and we might have like a movie topic or two just for our movie heads because I feel bad, you know. If you're only coming in for the movies, it's going to be a pretty shitty podcast for you. So, you know, we'll have a movie topic or two for you guys. So, I'm Jeremy Malspina. That's my good friend Dan McCarthy. Signing out.
What's up, bitches?
Peace, bitches.